Welcome to Ranking Every Commander.
In this video, we got the last ones before the top 100, 120 to 101.
And if you can't tell, we're both sick.
We're really sick.
I'm your host. I'm sick.
And I'm also sick, and that makes us the Nitpicking Nerds. And before you say gross, you should just subscribe to this particular channel, because who else is ranking every commander?
Who? I don't know who else.
And who else is doing that?
And besides, you want to be subscribed because, I don't know.
You'll be less sick.
Hopefully.
Disclaimer guy here, and I'm also sick, so leave me alone.
Now that we've sufficiently complained, I think we should just get right into it. Number 120, who we got?
Ruakthar, the Unburrowed.
6 mana, 6/6,
Wow.
Vigilance,
He's not burrowed.
and Reach. And he has to attack each turn. Whenever any player casts a non-creature spell, they take 6.
That's a lot.
It's casual 6.
It's a big chunk of damage. His strength isn't that high because he costs 6 mana.
He's this card is weird because it counts you too. So your deck has to be mostly or all creatures, and that's just not. That's a downside.
Yeah, your deck is weaker because it has to be all creatures, and then on top of that, one removal spell, and he costs 8 next time.
How is that worth it? I'm not paying 6 to deal 6 to somebody.
Yeah,
this can on the best case scenario you shut down players, but the best case is they're just not casting spells. They're not going to keep doing that.
They're not going to kill.
They're not going to go opt. Oh, I take 6. Ponder. Oh man, take 6 more. This really hurts.
Brainstorm. Take 6.
Brainstorm. Oh my god, I'm dead. No one's going to do that. So this card isn't that strong. But the new artwork is insane. It's so good.
It's
for the guild thing.
Yeah, it's really
Guild
good.
kits, I think it was.
Yeah, it looked.
Normally his art was poopy.
It was just whatever.
It was not good.
It was passive.
It was like 6.
It's like, why would you want this big giant thing that always attacks?
Yeah, one of the heads
passive?
is like, and the other one's like,
it's me.
we could cosplay as Ruakthar.
An 8.
I'm taller, so I can stick my head above yours.
He's
on the side.
Go away.
Okay.
I'll talk about that. He's got 8 for
Fun
because he's fun. I mean, commentary.
Big green stompy decks. That's the fun angle we were looking at.
Also red.
Yes, this is a Primal Surge deck.
Yeah.
You can play Primal Surge as your only spell and have all permanents and win the game.
And Warstorm Surge and crazy stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You can play some weird stuff in this deck. You can play Wild Pair in this deck. You're going to be playing a lot of creatures.
But when you play Wild Pair, you take 6.
Yeah, that's true.
I think this is a pretty unique effect because it's the ultimate Punisher. This is like the most high volume version of Eidolon of the Great Revel.
There's a lot of
has ever existed.
Yeah, there's a lot of these cards. But again, how many are in your command zone? Not very many.
But two-headed giants are cool.
He's
One of the first two-headed giants.
He's literally a 2-headed giant.
Yeah, absolutely great. Zada, Hedron Grinder, 119, 3 in a red for a 3/3. Whenever you cast a spell that targets only her, you forfeit for each creature you control. So, +1/+1 to Zada, +1/+1 to your whole team. +1/+1 draw a card to Zada, +1/+1 draw a card to your whole team. Zada's actually really good.
Titan Strength, scry 1 a bunch of times.
I mean, there's so many that just draw a card, even in red. Expedite, give them all haste. Make none of them able to block. Draw like 15 cards. Red is so good at making goblin tokens, or just tokens in general.
Well,
this card's actually really good.
Mostly goblin tokens because
it can end up just being a storm-esque deck.
I don't know. I've never built this deck, but it seems super fun. I mean, you play a bunch of dudes go wide, and then target your Zada with there's so many. I had built
an Ink Treader Nephilim deck. I think that was what it was. And it had the same ability where anytime one thing was targeted, you copy it for all your things.
Okay.
And I know some of the stuff, like once you got it out and you actually untap with it, the game was just over.
It seems
so like... just done, like, I'll draw 8 cards. You're just not going to lose.
6 for art. The art is fine. He's just like sitting there.
Yeah. This deck is fun. I mean, it's fun to play Dragon Fodder, Hordling Outburst, Zada.
I thought we said
draw
that.
65 cards.
I thought we already said that.
I don't even know if we said that. But
I thought we said it was
I'm too sick to remember. What was her flavor, though? The one reason she got flavor points?
The only flavor point she got is she ate Tuk Tuk.
She ate them. She just ate them.
She ate Tuk Tuk the Returned.
This is something we've mentioned at least 3 times now, but I can't remember where we mentioned it.
We mentioned it.
Probably just move on.
We mentioned it when we talked about Tuk Tuk.
Yes. I was going to say, we've talked about every commander almost at this point, so that's probably why.
Yeah, Tuk Tuk taught him that it was good to eat rocks, and Tuk Tuk the Returned was made of rock. So Zada ate.
That's a no-brainer, right there.
So Zada just ate Tuk Tuk.
That's just galaxy brain move.
Yeah, That was a Galaxy Bane play by Zada.
for the Gabos. Rafik of the Many, 118. This is my boy. 1 and Bant for a 3/3. He is Exalted, so whenever a creature you control attacks alone, it gets a +1/+1. Also, whenever a creature you control attacks alone, it gains Double Strike. So this guy by himself swings for 8, which is a lot of damage. So if you suit him up at all, you're suiting him up for double. So you Rancor it, now he attacks for 12.
He also, this effect has haste because...
Doesn't have to be him attacking, it could be anything.
Yeah, it can be any creature. If you have already a suited up creature, play this. Now you can just hit him big right then.
This is one of my personal commanders. I have it in my nonsense Enchantment Voltron weirdo deck. It's so much fun to play. I love Rafik. He can just completely get people out of the game.
I mean, yeah, he's a big old bully. He just takes one player out usually.
Yeah, he takes one player out for free, and then the other two people still have to answer you.
Yeah, they usually do.
Are you bored?
No, I'm sick.
Yeah, so he's pretty strong. He represents a lot of damage and has haste, and he's only 4 mana. And I think his art is above average. We don't need to get too much into things that are just above average.
I mean, he's just standing there looking like a guy.
Looking like he's got a lot of sigils. Seagulls.
Yes, he's got a lot of seagulls on his shoulder. It's a really weird art.
He's fun because he opens up so many ways to play. You can play a combat-oriented deck. You can throw a bunch of Exalted crap in there. You can play an enchantment deck. You can play an equipment deck. You can play a go-wide deck for some reason if you really want to.
Because you want to.
Yeah, why not? This guy, I think
I
this
don't know why
guy
you would
opens
play.
up...
I don't think he opens the door to go wide.
No,
but
because then you play the angel that says all your creatures have Exalted. And so then when you go wide, you just attack with one thing.
That's not what going wide is.
Sure it is.
It's still going tall.
I don't think this effect definitely doesn't exist on almost any other commander though.
No, he's the Exalted commander. What commander has Exalted?
I mean, what other commander says like your creatures just get double strike
The only other commander I can think with Exalted is the mono black. When he attacks alone, they sacrifice a creature.
Nephrox, that card sucks.
Yeah,
that's so bad.
That's literally the only other Exalted one I can think of. And that card.
There's got to be one more, but I don't want to think about it.
I don't know.
I don't care that much.
I don't care either.
Yeah, Mizzix of the Mizzix of the Magnus, 1/17. She is 2 red-blue for a 2/2. Instant sorcery spells you control cost 1 less to cast for each experience counter you have, and whenever you cast an instant or sorcery with mana cost greater than the number of experience counters you have, you get an experience counter. So your first one's free, you're always going to get it, and then you want to go opt into Chart a Course, into Compulsive Research, into Chemist's Insight. Get yourself 4 experience counters for 4 mana.
Yes, they're always the idea is you can always just spend 1 mana to get an experience counter,
Which is pretty sweet.
as long as you have your commander.
Yeah, just get your curve together. Make sure you know what you're doing, and this card is actually strong, but you got to untap with it, or go into the later mid game and then play it on 4 or on turn like 8, and then start going off.
Yeah, he's really strong because
It's a storm commander,
it is definitely a storm commander.
but it is fun to reduce all your instants and sorceries and play Treasure Cruise for blue without delving.
Oh yeah, that's true. If you
Those delve spells get you super fast.
How high?
Experience counters.
7. You're getting 7 experience counters is definitely not easy.
Yeah, but then you also another thing this deck does is play a bunch of X spells because X is however many experience counters you have.
Oh, yes.
For free, and the spell just costs like 1 mana.
That's fair.
Pull from tomorrow. I guess it's for 8. I'll tap 2 mana though.
Yeah, that works well. I didn't even think about the X spell thing.
Oh yeah, this card's great.
Reducers
That's what makes
always
X spells are fun. Don't tell me X spells are not fun.
reducers always work well with X spells. They just
And this
they
art,
work
this is like the
buttons.
classic Is It artwork. It's just got a bunch of lightning and a goblin in a stupid suit.
He's in a walk.
She.
It's like a walker.
She,
It looks like some weird spider walker thing.
Spider Walker.
Like
Not much is known about Mizzix because she's a throwaway commander from a precon, and they didn't bother giving her any backstory.
because they never do.
Nope, but this takes the Is It stereotype of incident. This is Goblin and Necromancer with absolute steroids.
This is legendary Goblin Electromancer. Like
It's even a 2/2.
it's the one Goblin Electromancer who actually was successful.
Yeah, the one that didn't die
And
to Lightning Bolt.
But doesn't he die to lightning bolt?
Yeah, but he was successful. The opponent didn't have it.
Oh, our opponent didn't have lightning bolt.
It's your
Okay.
turn to read a card.
God Eternal Kefnet. 2 blue for a 4/5 flyer. Legendary creature zombie god.
Amazing.
Which is so cool. You may reveal the first card you draw each turn as you draw it. Whenever you reveal an instant or sorcery card this way, copy that card and you may cast the copy. That copy costs 2 less to cast. When God Eternal Kefnet dies or is put into exile from the battlefield, you may put it 3rd from the top.
This card's got a lot of power. It doesn't ever costs more than 4 mana to cast. You're in blue. You're going to be drawing and scrying and brainstorming, and you'll always have Kefnet in your hand if he's not in the field. And every turn. So if you cantrip on somebody else's turn and you hit a spell, then it's an instant, you just play it.
So the power with this card also lies in its combo with Scroll Rack. If you have any Time Warp effect and a Scroll Rack, you can just continually
the first card I drew was 3 mana Time Warp. All right, Scroll Rack it back on top. You just kill them with Kefnet.
No, you just have to kill them with Kefnet or anything. It doesn't matter.
Kill them with a ham sandwich. This is not a fun commander to play against. No. I don't think this is enjoyable at all.
No, the problem is it's mostly going to be that combo.
Well, you're going to have to police it. You're going to have to say, okay, well, they can never get Scroll Rack out, or I have to kill Kefnet as soon as I see him. I can't just let them have fun with it.
I mean, it's not even a large investment for the combo. If they untap with Scroll Rack, which is 1 mana.
2 mana?
2 mana, sorry.
And their commander, which is, how are you ever supposed to answer it?
Which is 4 mana.
It's 4 mana, but it can't die. It just keeps going back to their deck.
And if they have Scroll Rack on the field, they can just get it out really easily.
Yeah, what a sweet. Kill Scroll Rack, I guess, is the moral of the story.
Yeah.
Did we mention he's a zombie god? 10 out of 10. Did we mention the art is really good? 10 out of 10.
Yeah, he just looks like...
The zombie gods are all amazing. They've all made it past... This is the lowest one, right? Or maybe Ronus was the lowest one.
Ronus was the lowest
This
one.
is the second lowest one, and they're all in the top 25% of the list.
Yeah, this card is... it didn't lose points for the book, even though the book made him look like a total chump.
Oh, he got his arm blasted off?
Randomly, for no reason.
No reason.
Like, just... Why would he not... Rail had so much electric, he could blast off a zombie god's arm, and then he never used that again after that.
Well, no. Well, actually, I don't know if you know this. This was revealed after the book.
Okay.
The electricity that Rail shot at Kefnet that blew off his arm was actually Lazav the whole time.
Oh.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Like, I didn't even know that. But it was. That's true. That's true. So let's move on to Grenzo, Dungeon Warden. 115, X, black, red for a 2/2. Enters with X counters on it, and then you can pay 2. Put the bottom card of your library into your graveyard. If it's a creature with power less than his, it goes right into play.
Yep. So...
Talk about combos you have to police again.
Yeah, this one's fun, because this one, at least you can build this one to be super wacky and weird.
There's weird cards like Telgelad Stylus is in this deck. What? Who would ever play that card?
That card's horrible, but
That's like a 1 with nothing type level badness.
Good old 1 with nothing.
That card seems that bad.
No, 1 with nothing is so much worse.
That's true. Okay. I'm just thinking about 1 with nothing now. I think this is way more fun than Kefnet, even though this deck isn't as wacky as it seems when you build it right.
If you just build the best version of this deck, it's...
not the competitive CEDH, whatever, but the finely tuned version of this deck that people play like the LGS. I think it's pretty annoying.
It is definitely annoying. But, again, he's so the
there's
wackiness
still
is...
randomness to it. It's not like you're in mono blue and you go Mystical Tutor, Time Warp, kill you.
Like, the wackiness of this card is so cool because, like, you're literally playing with the bottom of your library. There are some cards that manipulate it, but there's not a crazy amount. Scries are very good.
Viscera Seer.
The Sorcerer is an A+ card in this deck.
Yeah, we gave it a 10 for uniqueness, obviously. This is like nothing else really does anything like this.
Name 10 cards that play at the bottom of your library. There's really not.
I think Cellar Door.
There's very few.
I think Cellar Door does. I don't even know. I think it just says the word bottom of your library.
They're few.
It's in the flavor text.
They're few and far between. In the flavor text, it says bottom of your library.
Yeah,
that's a great flavor text.
He was looking for his car keys. He found them at the bottom of his library.
The 6 is for art. Whatever.
It's medium. I like what's the conspiracy that gives you a second hand? You draw 2 hands. Safety plan. That art is amazing. I love that art. It's the guy where he's like with the key, and it just gives you 2 opening hands. And you get to choose one.
I don't know that.
I like that way better than this art. But we can just move on because we're sick, and they want to get to the top 100, and these commanders made it. They were so close, but they just weren't quite top 100 material.
No, because they needed 37 points to crack the top 100, right?
37 points, but 2 37-pointers. It was not a clean cut. It was not a clean cut to top 100. 2 37-pointers are in the bottom list.
Yeah, the end of this list.
They got bubbled.
Doretti Scrap Savant, 114. This is 3 and a red for a legendary planeswalker. Enters with 3 loyalty. +2, discard up to 2 cards, draw that many. -2 is a little goblin welder. You sacrifice an artifact.
Trash for treasure.
Yep. You sacrifice an artifact, you get an artifact back from your graveyard. And his ultimate is -10, you get an emblem. Whenever an artifact is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, return that card to the battlefield at the beginning of your next end step.
Fun fact, it's the same emblem as Liliana the Flippiliana,
Except for
except for its artifacts.
yes. Also, you're just not losing if you do that.
Oh god, no, you're never losing. But this card is so strong because it's not a creature. And it just sits there. You can trash your treasure immediately, which sometimes you want to. It could be an amazing stacks commander, but it can also just be a mid-range thing.
Yeah,
Artifact matters deck. But you're definitely artifact matters.
You get the rummage also for
Rummaging is fine.
rummaging is good in this deck because you want stuff in your graveyard.
Yeah, there's so many 12 drops and 11 drops and 6 drops that you're never planning on casting.
Yeah.
Just get them out of there. You do not. Does exactly what the Planeswalker wants you to do. Put them in your graveyard. Okay, great. Now get them back. Oh, awesome. And now you win the game.
He's one of the better mono red artifact commanders in that
He's one of the better mono red commanders. He might be like top 3.
That's fair. He comes out, he immediately just gets rid of the crappy cards in your hand, redraws you some new ones. He's
Plus it's the 5 too.
And then, yeah, he plus the 5, and then he's rebuying those things that you discarded. So, like, if you put a Blightsteel Colossus,
Not Blightsteel.
I bought Blightsteel Colossus
Because that card's bad. For no other reason.
and it shuffles into your library.
No.
If you put something huge in your graveyard, now it's automatically becomes a threat, and Duretti has to be answered. Even if Duretti's answered, he comes out with enough loyalty to just minus right away.
And Duretti gets bonus points for being a paraplegic planeswalker.
Yeah.
Not that we award bonus points to this disabled, but it's cool that the Wizards
do.
actually made it's a character with some sort of flaw. Some sort of physical flaw. Wow.
They never have flaws. They barely have emotional flaws ever.
Yeah, have you seen Oko? He had no flaws. The card was unbeatable.
Oko is just a porn star.
Yeah, he's just a porn star who's got the best abilities ever. If you asked a vain teenager to make themselves a card, it's it's got to be super sexy and it's got to win the game every time.
And because I'm a teenager, I'm emo.
Yeah.
So
super not even looking. He's not even looking.
I don't even care. Do you see my cool dagger?
Just suck on my knife. Okay.
Okay, we're getting a little
little
much.
out of hand.
So Duretti, obviously, we were talking about.
Yeah, he's from the conspiracy plane of Fiora.
Yeah, Fiora, which is a character in League of Legends. That's how, whenever you say Fiora, I just think of the character from League of
I
Legends.
think of Fiona from Shrek, and Shrek 2, and Shrek 3, and Shrek 4, and the Shrek musical numbers.
Doesn't Shrek musical number?
Well, there's the musical shorts that went to TV, like the Shrek Halloween and the Shrek Christmas special.
I haven't done talk about Duretti.
Yeah, we are.
No, we're
I
not.
think we covered it.
Did we?
Yeah. I mean, anything we didn't say is very obvious. Izuri, Claw of Progress is next. 2 blue-green for a 3/3. Whenever a creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield under your control, you get an experience counter. Another one of these, right back to back almost. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put X counters on another target creature, where X is the number of experience counters you have.
So this is like a blue-green elf-ballish commander where you just play a bunch of little tiny elves that don't do much, but they end up pumping up your other creatures.
It's Elf Ball, but you also want +1/+1 counters. I can see you play Walking Ballista, maybe Triskelion is in here, Fertilid. There's plenty more. Blue-green counters.
There's a lot of cards that care about counters. There's two.
Blue-green counters that's playing Elf Ball instead of Cultivate.
Now, you're not going to believe this, but this is Simic counters, which you don't see very often. So it got a 4 for uniqueness.
You don't see that very great. But Izuri, who is sort of just there in the story, gets off-screen converted by Jingataxius into the Claw of Progress. So he's a bad guy. I kind of feel bad for him, but it's really cool.
Yeah, he was part of the good elves that was fighting the good fight.
I like seeing another Mirrodin figure turned Phyrexian. This is the perfect place to do it. Is in the commanders where we're not really on Phyrexian. Nobody really cares what happens to Izuri, but it's just a nice little touch.
Yeah, Zuri, poor Zuri, he got blue.
I mean, his art got better, so he should be thankful for that.
Usually when you become Phyrexian, you don't gain the color blue, but this one did because Jingataxis did it.
Yeah, red and white are the good guys.
Let's say it. Poor Zuri. His art is really good. He looks super scary. He's got
He just looks like a absolute movie monster.
oh yeah, he does. He got sharp, gross teeth.
Ugh,
He's gross.
nasty. All right, this is another god because
Ooh.
you would imagine there's a lot of gods in the top 100 or so because they're gods. That's so cool. 3 black-red for a 6/5. I'll tell you his name at the end. Whenever a creature with a -1/-1 counter on it dies, draw a card. 1 black-red, put a -1/-1 counter on another target creature. When this creature dies, return to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. And that was, of course, for those guessing at home, the Scorpion God.
Yeah, this is one of the worst gods. He doesn't do anything.
For power, yeah, definitely one of the worst. But for references to the Scorpion King and artwork, it's one of the better gods.
Yeah, his artwork
That
is...
image, their imagery is just so awesome. He kills. This Scorpion God just assassinates 2 or 3 of the Amonkhet gods.
He
without
definitely
even
killed.
trying.
He definitely killed Ronas.
Definitely killed Ronas. He zipped him in the.
in the back of the head, I
They
think.
took that prom picture.
Yeah, that weird,
in,
like, grabbing onto his shoulders. Like,
What was it? Hour of Glory.
he looks so
They're
uncomfortable.
taking the prom picture. Ronus is like,
Stop. I
me
don't
alone.
like it. He's not very powerful because, well, he just doesn't, like I said, he doesn't do much as a,
this feels like worse Hepatra.
of so much.
The deck is all the black cards from Hepatra, 4 red cards that say -1/-1 counters by chance, and you just it ends up being all right. I think it's pretty fun.
It's fine for fun. I mean, there's
You're gonna be the fun that we lost deducted is fun that you will not have.
because you're not going to do anything. I've played this card before. It just doesn't.
Yeah, you have played this card actually.
The-
You're never gonna activate it.
Yeah,
Let's get real.
activating it costs way too much. It's not worth it. You just don't. There's not enough ways to kill the creatures. The creatures have to die if you get any advantage out of it.
Yeah, and then how are you killing a bunch of creatures without killing the Scorpion God? And you have to play it again. It's cool that it doesn't die, and you can just keep putting it back to your hand.
I wish he was a king. That'd be cooler.
There's probably an altar.
of
Of-
Dwayne The Rock Johnson's
Yeah.
horrible CGI
That's just
body.
like the worst CGI I've ever seen.
It's so bad.
It is miserable. Karlov of the Ghost Council. Joe's got to read this because my voice hurts.
Caliber of the Ghost Council. White, black, legendary spirit advisor, 2/2. Whenever you gain life, put 2 +1/+1 counters on Karlov. Play a white and a black. Remove 6 +1/+1 counters from Karlov, the Ghost Council. Exile target creature.
I think this card is really sweet. It's Orzhov +1/+1 counters. It's Johnny's Pride Mate, but it actually does something. It mitigates the fact that it gets too big to matter by not only removing the counters, but removing blockers.
Yeah, also, it costs 2 mana. How important is that? 2 mana commanders that have an actual decent effect on the game are
This guy is
so
a
much
house.
better.
This guy is very strong.
He's a
I
good-
mean, the power isn't all there because it's life gain and life gain. I think the archetype life gain brings this guy down more than the actual card.
Yeah, well, I mean, the archetype of life gain is just super medium because what are you getting? When
It's fun, but it's medium.
Gaining life is just not powerful enough to mean
It's not a
have an
tangible resource.
It doesn't have an impact on the game. It is a tangible resource if you can, but the ways to use that tangible resource are few and far between.
Yeah, there's like 5 cards.
There's there's literally like 5 or 6 reasonable playable cards that let you use your
Some
life.
of them aren't even reasonable. They're just the only payoffs you have.
Like Necropotence is insane, like the way to be using all that life.
But that card's just insane anyway.
That card's just insane anyway. Aetherflux Reservoir is an insane way to be
I would
using
say
all that
you
life.
don't need to draw 40 cards instead of 30 with Necropotence to win the game.
Yeah, that just feels true. His art is fine. He's just like he's fat.
I love
he's
the
he's a
flavor.
fat ghost. Come on.
I love the flavor of the Obsidat and how they get killed by Kaya because Taste is scheming against them and he knows about it according to this flavor text.
It's so weird to me. Like, are you? If spirits exist.
Yes.
Okay, and you become a ghost. It's the same thing with the movie Coco. Actually, they die, and when they die, is the life form is like the body they have when they go to the spirit world. It's like, wow, that's terrible. I want to die now. Otherwise, I'm gonna have an I don't want to have an
Apparently Karlov, his skin bubbled up and exploded because
Yeah.
he's got some weirdness going on.
That's what I'm saying. And then, like
he burned alive?
in Coco, the grandma is just the old grandma. It's like that poor lady. She has dementia, and she died with
Can't-
dementia.
Can't see or hear.
Yeah,
It's just
it's like,
exists forever.
please if there's spirit world, take me now. I would
Yeah, if
prefer to
there's
have this decent body.
If there's a free pass to some other life that never ends, I'll just kill myself. Literally, I'm just gonna kill myself.
Yeah, I don't want to get super old and have to live with that old body in the spirit world.
Explain your rules better, Orzhov. You guys suck. 110. Yarok, the Desecrated. 2 and a Sultai for a 3/5 with Death Touch and Lifelink. If a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. Trigger, trigger, trigger.
I mean, Jarek is just he
He's trigger happy.
he is trigger happy. He's a Sultai Panharmonicon effect. He doubles everything.
Field of the Dead, Risen Reef, Psalm Smolcrum, Muldrifter. I'm just kind of naming random crap.
There's so many. No,
I've seen Elemental Tribal. I've seen Land Tribal. There's a lot of different stuff you can do.
Sorry of Stagnation. Your opponent playing a land that causes your guy to trigger.
I guess while we're here, we can just shout out our least favorite land of all time and say, if you're playing a Yarok deck, don't play Halimar Depths. And if you're playing Magic, don't play Halimar Depths.
That card is really bad. Halimar Depths is so bad. It gets you no value ever.
But it's hilarious with Yarok because you can gain no value and then gain no value again and feel like you got value.
9 for fun. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
It's just good stuff. ETB good stuff.
Any ETB deck always seems like it's just so much fun to
It's
me.
just a ton of fun to just turn all these dials and switch all these knobs and bring them back from the graveyard, flicker them, whatever you got to do.
That guy's playing Galaga, all the good stuff.
Galaga?
Yeah,
What?
that was an Avengers reference.
Yeah, okay. I got you. Anything else?
His art is really cool. He's just like an abomination of weird.
He's a sad boy. He was originally, I think, some kind of noble elemental, but the Eldrazi, like he takes the shape of the land, so the Eldrazi wastified it, and so now he's wasted. He's all.
Oh man, I'm so wasted.
He is shot. He is messed up big time.
He is gone. He is not going back. No real story here other than what we just said. And
I think we can just move on.
yeah, that's fair. Alesha, who smiles at death, 2 in a red for a 3/2 first strike human warrior. I like saying the creature types. BC never does.
It makes it sound cooler.
Whenever Alesha, who smiles at death, attacks, you may pay Orzhov Hybrid. If you do, return target creature with power 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, tapped and attacking. So it's got some of that good wording. It's not converted mana cost.
As you may know, creatures with high mana costs that do a lot can have low power.
Yes, they exist. They
Master
really.
of Cruelties, got you. I don't know how many times that happens. Or if it ever has.
Just to do air quotes,
Well,
that,
you didn't really get them.
the on screen right now is actually not us.
Yeah, but I
It's
did
actually
air-
the card.
When I said got you, I did air quotes.
Yeah, we did air quotes and it didn't matter because
I think
nobody saw
her
it.
stats are fine. She can almost always attack on turn 4, which is okay if you can't ramp into her. So I like that. I like that if you give her haste, she's not really what the opponents have to kill. It's whatever that comes back is.
There's so many things to return. I mean, it's impossible to list them all. Her
We're not
power,
gonna bother.
Her power comes from the fact that you fake this looting a couple times, stuff like that. You fill your graveyard with.
I don't have to fill it. Just put 2 creatures in there and start playing around with them.
Yeah, there's so many good ones. I mean, even like something like with the Master Breeder, he's got 2 power 5, and then you play another creature and you get a bunch of thralls to go with it.
I think it's hard to find a good Mardu commander. Most of them don't give you card advantage. And like there's Marchesa who does, and there's Alesha who does. But like you look at Zurgo Helm Smasher or Kalia, they don't give you any cards. They don't give you nothing.
Another thing that's very powerful about this commander is coming out on turn 3 every game.
Or sooner.
That is such an advantage for a commander. Like,
1, 2, and 3. I mean, not so much 1 because nothing is 1. It's like 2 and 3.
yeah, I mean 2 and 3. If your commander's coming out that early, it's going to make an impact in the game so much more compared to commanders that cost 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
4, 5, and 6, you're just starting to get swept up in random board wipes.
Yeah, because at 4 is when the board wipes start happening.
I would say at 5.
I mean, 4 is fair, but
Well, like who's
Wrath of
like?
God and Damnation are playable cards.
Well, they're castable on turn 4, but I'm never gonna do that.
Whatever.
I'd say turn 5
Turn 4, turn 5.
is when the early threats start coming out.
Her art is fine. She's
I like the blur of the flags, and like the focus and everything is kind of blurry in the back.
yeah, she's going to fight on the battlefield in the big whatever war between the.
If this was
Shards,
the
or not the
countdown
shards.
of transgender commanders, this would be number 1.
Yeah, and number
It'd also be the
800.
lowest ranked.
It'd also be the lowest ranked on the list.
So-
because Magic's inclusive.
Once. That one time.
That one time Magic was inclusive. Remember that?
Yeah, that card that wasn't really pushed that far.
What's the 4?
This is for uniqueness. It's a little below average for.
Mardu, we buy stuff. I mean, there's
It
not,
says it checks all the Mardu boxes, attack and graveyard, and low power. I'm not inspired too much when I see this.
Arcades the Strategist, 108. He's a 3/5 flyer with vigilance.
For 1 in a band.
I was just going to say that. You didn't even let me.
Say it again.
Whenever a creature with Defender enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. Each creature you control with Defender assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power, and can attack as though it didn't have Defender.
I don't like this card exists personally because I think they just undermined Doran really, really hard.
So hard. This card says Doran was a card, but why would you play Doran ever? Arcades is so much better.
Yeah, you get blue, you lose black, which was the worst color for that anyway. There's so many defenders you can play. I don't really care to list them. We've done a tune-up of this, so go check that out. He's okay.
He's a
gonna draw
Walls
you a lot of
commander.
cards.
I mean, it's fun. The Walls commander's fun.
Problem is you just end up making this huge board state and it'll die.
Well, at least you draw cards to replace them.
Right, they do replace themselves. So you can just keep making that huge board
The
state.
one time we played against
I knew you were going to say this.
it's funny.
It's like this dude we played against, and he just kept casting Arcades. after a board wipe, we just kept board wiping. And he just kept casting Arcades and then like 3 walls.
The funniest part
and
of
we're just like, how many lands do you have? And he's like, 17. It's like, how many times have you cast Arcades?
Arcades died like
It was like 9 times.
like 9, 10 times, and you just kept casting them.
He just kept like tapping out, like, yep, I did the exact math. Like, don't you have no cards in hand? How are you drawing 2 lands and then playing it every turn?
It was
What's
really
going
funny. Arcades died so many times.
We just didn't even call him out because it just didn't even matter. He just died anyway.
I mean, he was only playing Arcades
Yeah,
because he had
that's
to tap out all of his mana that we didn't count. I'm sick.
We're both sick.
Oh, being sick's the worst.
It is the worst. When you're a kid, it's the best.
Well, yeah,
Because I'd rather bury myself alive than go to school. But when you're sick, you're just like, Mom, I would like to show you something. I'm very sick. Look, take my temperature.
Instead, now it's just inconvenient.
Now it's just like I have to do all my work anyway. I'm still going to work today. You didn't though. And I gotta go do things, but I'm in bad shape physically. Jump to Cranko Mob Boss. Now I will say to that one guy who said, I hope Cranko Mob Boss is in the top 100. I'm so sorry.
He's so close.
He was like, what is he, 107, I said?
He's 107.
107. You almost made it. 2 red for a 3/3 tap. Create X goblins where X is the number of goblins you have.
He's a 3/3. I don't know if he said that. You might have.
I did.
All right. Well,
You're probably just too sick to hear me.
He's fine for power. He'll make a million guys if he
It's
gets
the classic
going.
if I untap with it.
Yeah, you really need to untap with him because if you don't, he just doesn't do anything. Literally.
Untapping, Umbral Mantle, the untap symbol is great with him. Haste, to give all your tokens haste. Buffs, obviously.
I mean,
very simple. Very fun.
Oh, this is one of people's favorite commanders.
I don't even get it, but I guess
I
they
mean,
just want
it's just
to put dice on their goblin token.
The idea that you literally get to make a number that's stupid. The number is always going to end up being
60 goblin tokens.
If you go off with this, you're just going to make a bajillion guys. If there's any way to untap when a creature enters, I don't know if there is, but
Too bad Intruder Alarm's not in here.
no, yeah, you
Oh
can't
my
play it.
God.
Intruder Alarm would just
What if your opponent plays Intruder Alarm?
you would. That's insane.
It's
Every time you create.
it's infinite. You can go as high as you want.
Yeah, it's so many. But just like if you activate to make 3, you get to untap him 3 times. It's just like
And then you can make
it's just-
4, 4, 4, or you make 4, 7, 16 or something. I don't know. Some nonsense.
yeah, it's nonsensical.
Cranko's your math commander. He's a mob boss, which I think gives him definite coolness points.
Let's see this card's so much,
Goblin Mafia guy?
being the mob boss is so much cooler than whatever he is in the other one. The Tin Street Kingpin,
Yes.
something like that.
If he was just Cranko Kingpin, that'd be cool.
Oh yeah, that's so much cooler. I don't care about
Tin Street. Okay,
I don't care about
we're
Tin
not
Street.
actually talking about the Tin Street hooligans. This isn't a veiled shot at them. This is a veiled shot at Cranko, Tin Street, whatever.
Kingpin. We already said it.
Yeah, we did.
Iris, whatever. And uniqueness is, I mean, he's a big red, make a ton of guys guy.
I've seen this before, but not too many places.
Seen it before. Avacyn.
Wait, that reminds me of the Bill Murray quote.
I've worked with better, but not many.
Avacyn, Angel of Hope, 5 white for an angel, 8/8, flying, vigilance, indestructible. Other permanents you control have indestructible.
This is so expensive, but it actually starts getting to be worth it if you can protect it.
Yeah. So once it comes out, if they don't have an exile effect, you're just gonna probably run away with the game. But it costs 8 mana,
Yes.
which is its ultimate weakness. A mana cost is plays such a factor into power.
For example, if this was a 1-mana 1/1, it'd be the best commander ever.
Yes.
It'd be ridiculous. It's hard to combo into things like Armageddon and Day of Judgment when your commander costs 8,
The
and then
cute-
10, and then 12.
The cutest combo with this is
Armageddon, right?
Neverall's Dex. Neverall's Dex.
Oh, Nevin
Because it doesn't sacrifice itself, it destroys
They
itself.
worded it terribly.
Yeah,
So
so
it just destroys all non-lands you don't control.
and then it just stays on the field.
Then you cast Armageddon, and then your opponents concede.
Yes. I mean they probably concede Armageddon anyway.
They probably concede to the disc.
The disc. Yeah,
If Avacyn didn't die, they don't have the tools to kill it, so they're just going to concede to the disc.
that's fair, yeah. Art is great on this card.
Fantastic.
I didn't even know about the judge art. It looks so good too. They both look.
They're both really good. I love the Gothic. She's like an atypical angel.
All right.
This looks sweet. It's not what I picture when I think of an angel, but she's the coolest angel.
Yeah, this art is just it's strong. It's strong. Avacyn looks so cool. And as a character, she is cool. She's basically worshipped as a god
Yes.
on the plane.
And she's almost unstoppable.
The church is literally the Church of Avacyn.
Yeah, and I like that she's the strongest thing on the plane until forces beyond her control just completely mess her up.
Well, she's not the strongest thing on the plane. I mean,
What's stronger than her?
sword. Soren literally.
Yeah, but he's not really on the plane. I was thinking like Innistrad things.
It's just stuck to Innistrad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Soren literally made her, which is insane to think about. How powerful is
That makes me like Soren more.
How powerful is Soren that Soren just made Avacyn?
I can't really look after my home plane. I'll just make an unstoppable guardian to do it for me.
Yeah. Wow, so cool. So uniqueness. I mean, it just makes everything indestructible. That's all it does, and it's fine.
It does one thing and does it well.
It does it more than anything else. Ooh, this next one is a cool character. Captain Cisse, 2 green, white for a 2/2 legend. I don't even know which creature type. She's a human, I know that much. Human soldier, found it. Tap, search your library for a legend or legendary card. Reveal that card and put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. I mean,
Tutor a legend.
yeah, you get to tutor up a legend. There's legendary instant sorceries now. You can get
Planeswalkers were routed to be legendary.
the only problem with making this deck is you really, 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 really want a Gaia's Cradle.
Oh yeah.
That's always
the difference is so huge. It's the first thing you get every time.
It's just such an insane card to be able to tutor with her. I mean, it makes your land drop potentially, and the land drop you're making is insane.
It's so good.
7 for power because if this ever gets going, you're always going to be tutoring the best card in your deck every turn.
What's the best card I can hit? There's no restrictions virtually.
Yeah,
Almost no restriction.
Yeah, for a tap.
There's too many legends to not you to not be able to answer any board state.
I mean, exactly. Like you can even get stuff like Ugin the Spirit Dragon, and just wipe away stuff.
Or the first one you get is Shalai, so now they can't hexproof. They can't kill Cisse.
Now they have to kill Shalai. It's like,
Nobody wants to do that. Get Avacyn, Angel of Hope. Now Cisse's indestructible.
Ugh, gross. Or get literally any green-white creature on this list.
Literally.
Literally.
Or colorless. Oh, she gets Eldrazi too if you want to finish the game.
Oh yeah, she can just get like Emrakul, the Promised Land.
We have not covered a single Eldrazi yet. I wonder
Is
why.
that true?
There's no way. There's like 4. There's only the Titans that are legendary.
Maybe you're right. I didn't even think about that. Her art is just whatever. This is like the lowest art we've had up here. Because Cisse is one of the coolest characters.
She's got
This is
infinite backstory. I don't even think we need to mention it because we're so sick. But we know Cisse has a fabled past as Captain of the Weatherlight, grade A badass.
Uniqueness is just shows you everything. I feel so bad. Why isn't this card gotten like reprinted with a new art?
I thought it did. That's why I was checking. Because I'm like, maybe they just reprinted it into historic and they didn't give it new art.
It's sad. I mean, maybe people like the art. Maybe we're in the minority here.
We certainly might be, but I don't care because we got a really, really awesome commander at spot number 104. And it's Shieldred, Whispering One. I think it's only fitting for me to whisper this. 5 black for a 6/6 legendary creature, Praetor, Swamp Walk. At the beginning of your upkeep, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, that player sacrifices a creature.
So this is a 3 for power because it has to stay on the field and it never stays on the field.
It has immediate impact, but 7 mana Fleshbag Runner is not immediate impact that I care about.
Let's talk about another thing that makes this card weak. Oh, it costs 7 mana.
7.
If this was a 1 mana 1/1, it'd be a really good commander.
It'd be ridiculous. The closer we can get to that baseline where I just want the text of the card and not the power toughness or the stupid Swamp Walk.
Yeah, I don't
I
care.
would trade Swamp Walk for a colorless mana. Let me tell you.
Oh, so quickly. If this costs 6 mana, it's so much better.
I think it's fun though. I mean, it's fun, but I think the fun, coolness, and artwork are all tied together. Raiders are so amazingly cool.
Well, I think where it loses fun is like, who wants to play against this stupid thing? I don't want to play.
I'll play against it. I don't care.
Well, I'm saying I don't want to play against this thing if it didn't get answered.
I'm not even super bothered by it. It's a 7 mana reanimate. If you're playing control or tokens, you don't care about the.
That's true.
The sacrifice. How many people just have their one big thing and play like, hope this doesn't die?
I can think of some people. I mean, Praetors are almost always going to get these 10s in art and 10s and
they're
coolness.
Evil. They're just pure evil. They're robot.
They're not pure
They're
evil.
alien robot overlords that just want to twist flesh and metal. And
Is this the second?
Disgusting
It's the
stuff.
second one on this list.
Yes, the first one was Urbrask because he sucks.
Urbrask was the lowest one. Oh my gosh, that means the other guy, who you don't like, is higher than Children.
10 drop?
Yeah.
Well, I don't like it in Commander too much.
And 6 for uniqueness because this is just Black Sacrifice. Don't see that much. Back Reanimate. Don't see that much. I mean, putting them together into one spooky card gives it some
It's a
uniqueness.
3 and a 3. I guess that makes a 6. Well, what if Avacyn was on this list twice in a row? Both of them just shy of top 100. This is Archangel Avison. I'll read the front half, and Joe will read the back half because my voice will die by then. 3 white for a 4/4 Angel. Flash, flying, vigilance. When she enters the battlefield, creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. That includes her. When a non-angel creature you control dies, transform her at the beginning of the next upkeep.
So on the backside, we have a legendary Angel, 6/5. She got a little buff on that power. Flying, when this creature transforms into this side, it deals 3 damage to each other creature and each opponent. Now, I don't. If you're wondering why it's not an angel, it specifically has to be not an angel because she's a legend. So if you back in standard, if you played it and then played another Avison dies, and that you can't let that be the way to trigger Avison.
That's stupid.
It's be so dumb.
So she gets a 4 for power because she protects from board wipes, but it's also known information. So no one's really gonna run into it like they did in standard.
I mean, it's still good. I mean,
No, it's very strong.
she's protecting from board wipes. She's always there when you need her. She gives you red because the backside of the card is red.
Thank God.
So it's
Boros Commander.
It's a Boros commander, and it's not just. At least it's not the Boros like boring attacks. This is
You can do stuff. You can focus on Avison giving her Death Touch, giving her Lifelink, Basilisk Collar. You tutor up Basilisk Collar 8 different ways. Play 10 Basilisk Collars in your deck, functionally. Flip it to Avison, sacrifice your stupid thing, destroy all creatures you don't control, gain like 30 life.
I like we could play this as Boros Flash. The fun that you really lose here is like, what are you doing? What is the crazy fun thing you're doing?
You have Sunforger,
You have Sunforger.
but that's in any Boros deck. Does it feel extra?
There's nothing. What is this? It's not giving me. But then we get to the art. The art on both sides of this card are so good.
The story, stellar. The art, even more stellar.
She's gone crazy. She flips into the Purifier with blood all on her wings.
She doesn't know how to protect everybody. She thinks she has to purge them. She thinks they're all sinners.
So yeah, she goes. She's literally like a god gone crazy.
Yeah, she's just like, and Soren just kind of sees this broken machine. He's like, sorry, I have to kill you. I have to turn you off.
Mr. Making it literally hurts him too. You have to kill her.
Baby.
Yeah, he literally created. It's something. It's a living thing he created that he has to kill.
Who was up until now completely fine and doing her job perfectly.
Perfectly, literally.
And she didn't even know why she had to die because she thought she was still doing her job well.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah, isn't that sad?
That is the saddest thing.
I think about it's kind of like euthanizing a pet. They're like, where are we? And you're just like, oh no.
Oh no.
Now everybody's sad. These are the 37 pointers that didn't make it.
These are the 2 that got the 37 points that you needed to make the top 100, but they couldn't make the cut. They're the worst 2. Venser Shaper Savant is a 2/2 with flash for 2 blue. When he enters the battlefield, return target spell or non-land permanent to its own. Or no, wait, just permanent. You can hit lands. Return target permanent to its owner's hand.
This is a versatile card. I think it's very strong. I don't think it's very fun.
Well, I just want to play.
Ugh.
I don't want to play against a pseudo counter spell in the command
The
zone.
Venser guy. Like, you don't want to play against the Venser guy.
It's like I don't like talk about a counter spell deck. That's you're playing mono blue flash stuff, and you're always holding a Venser. I don't want to play against that ever.
No. How about this, though? End of turn 4. Flash and Venser bounce himself. Now they don't know where he is. Now they can't see it. They'll forget.
He goes to your hand, and then you choose to put him back in the command zone because it costs 6. Gotcha.
There's some universe where you can infinitely bounce him. Or I guess actually you just sack outlet plus infinite mana. You can Venser everybody's permanents.
If you have
Sack outlet, infinite mana.
well, if you just have like Intruder Alarm, a couple creatures that make mana,
In your mono blue deck.
whatever, figure it
You
out.
have 4
I'm sure we can figure
water
it out.
mirrors, whatever that card's
I don't
called.
care. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
I'm sure there's ways to make mana. Then,
There's artifact creatures that just have for mana.
and then you just play him and bounce himself, but you keep making mana the whole time.
Pretty strong.
It's gross.
He's strong but interesting. He's this cocky sort of shaper guy who does stuff with slivers early on, and then he eventually sacrifices himself to save Karn.
He gives a spark to Karn, doesn't he?
Yeah, he dies.
Isn't that Karn's second spark or first spark? I think Karn literally has had 2 different sparks.
I don't know. I do know that the scale, the storm scale,
Yeah.
the scale of whether planeswalkers are likely to return or not is called the Venser scale.
Oh, because Venture is just not likely to return.
I think it was like an 8. It wasn't even that high.
Venture's an 8 on the Venture scale.
I think so.
That's
I mean,
so-
Storm is a 9, right?
I mean,
they brought back
loaded,
Storm.
and they've reprinted Storm since they.
Well, I think the thing that opens up stuff for dead characters is like, Yawgmoth's back.
Yeah.
They brought back, like, he's not alive, but they printed cards.
Yeah, we got a Yawgmoth card.
I want the the one for the story. I want to, like, am I going to see Venser again? Does any of this matter? Is he actually dead?
And an 8 for uniqueness because he's your counterspell in your command zone.
But you're returning spells to their hand. That's not on a lot of things.
It's not on like
Unsubstantiate.
I mean, it's not on any legend.
Bouncing lands? How many legends do that? Bouncing spells? None.
I mean, you can Panharmonicon on this to always make him bounce himself. Ugh.
That is strong.
Yeah, I mean, Panharmonicon, counter your spell, bounce my Venser back to my hand. Ugh, that's gross. That's the kind of thing that's real annoying. That's when you start just going crazy.
Yeah. That's
and
nasty.
The last one, 101.
The bubble.
Wait, who got bubbled, BZ?
He definitely deserved it because I didn't even know he was up this high. Ludovic, Necro Alchemist, 1 blue red for a 1/4 legendary human wizard. At the beginning of each player's end step, that player may draw a card if a player other than you lost life this turn. And he has the wonderful ability of partner.
So that's what pushed him up to a 4. He's not very powerful. There's nothing on this card that screams, I am powerful. You cannot stop me.
Yeah, he seems like a worse Sig River Cutthroat.
Yeah,
It lets your opponents draw too many cards.
that is such a fair comparison. He's the word whatever comes to my mind for his power because it's just his power is just whatever.
His power is not why he's cool. He's Frankenstein. He's a mad scientist.
He is Dr.
who experiments.
Frankenstein.
He partners up with Giralf. Giralf's awesome. Boom. The art's really great. The flavor text is hilarious.
What's the flavor text? Read it.
Oh, it's great. You're gonna love it. You forget about it and love it every time. How does one become a self-taught genius? Naturally, it requires brains.
That's pretty good.
Gets it every time.
That's so good. I mean, it is really good. He's fun. I mean, it is so tough to grade fun on partners because like this deck could be anything.
I think partners get a boost, an unspoken boost to fun too.
That's because like this part, like him himself doesn't.
Well, I think he group hugifies whoever you partner him with. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm playing Ikra Shadiki, but hey, well, Ludovic, what the heck's going on now?
What a weird deck that would be. Ikra Shadiki partnered with Ludovic.
But Ludovic, they thought of everything because Ludovic has 4 toughness for no reason. So you're gonna start gaining a bunch of life.
Well, no, he has 4 toughness because he can't be killed by lightning bolt. Frankenstein not being able to be killed by lightning bolt.
That's a flavor win if I've ever seen it. But I think that concludes our final list of 20. Next week, we're going in groups of 10s.
Yes, until the end. There's 10 more of these videos left until we. I mean, there's also going to be like adding the new ones in.
Throne of Eldraine, probably by then. Theros too.
Yep, I mean definitely by then Theros because I mean we're not.
Theros is January, right?
We're not 10 weeks away from Theros. But this has been our list. Special shout outs to every single one of our patrons.
31 of them.
31.
They're ridiculously helpful, awesome, amazing people who talk to us on Discord every day. You can join them. Patreon.com/user/nitpicking-nerds.
Keep making me. I keep complaining about having to edit this little Patreon video that's going by right now. Keep making me have to change it. I like changing it.
It warms our heart.
It warms my heart every time we get a new patron. Love you all as much as I can without making you uncomfortable.
And I also love the fact that you can go to TCG Player through the link in the description specifically to buy cards you might need so that you can have TCG Player give us money.
Yeah. It's called Kickback, and we like getting kickback. I don't know. Peace out, Tribe Scout. My stomach's killing me.
That was abrupt.